Okay. Thank you so much for joining me, Emily. It's really nice to see you again. I know you graduated from your Reiki Mastership in August, so it feels like, and it's now nearly November. It's halfway through October, and it feels like it's been so much longer because, as you know, so much happens even after you do every level of Reiki, but so much also happens with the integration of your mastership. And I feel like since watching you after your graduation, I've watching you evolve and all your offerings, and you really stepping into exactly, having more clarity around what you're here to offer and the gifts that you're here to share as well. And it's just so beautiful to be able to circle back and have this conversation with you today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So I'm going to start off just by letting you introduce yourself and a little bit about what you do, all the amazing magical offerings that you have.
So I'm Emily McQueen. I am a Reiki Master now, which is very exciting. I'm a kinesiologist. I've recently become an astrologer as well, and I'm tying a lot of human design into my work as well. So I live in Wangaratta in northeast Victoria. It's a couple of hours out of Melbourne, and I do one-to-one sessions. I have a beautiful moon magic membership that I do. So I do Reiki, kinesiology, and readings as well. Um, I probably should say I'm a psychic as well. I'm trying to step into using that word to describe myself and not hiding behind it. So yeah, I'm a psychic as well.
Oh, so beautiful. I'm going to start delving right into how you have, I guess, found Reiki has, I guess it helped and assisted you in, I guess, bringing all of your offerings together, because it's such a range. And I know that so many healers, practitioners today really aren't just coming out and focusing on one particular modality. So I think this is something that a lot of people who are going to watch this are resonating with and thinking, yeah, that's feels like me. It feels like I have all these gifts that I want and all these interests and passions that I actually want to share with others. So I'd love you just to talk a little bit about how you found, I guess, combining Reiki with those things, and maybe how they've helped as well to help you develop those offerings.
Yeah. So I started off, Reiki was my first modality I kind of stepped into. So I was doing one-to-one Reiki sessions for a long time. And then I studied kinesiology, and I really found that literally every kinesiology session I'm normally tying in Reiki because it just works. Like I'm very intuitive in the way that I work. Like we have kinesiology, it's quite grounded, but then I really bring in all that energy as well. So even like when I'm working on meridians, a lot of the time I'll still incorporate Reiki, even with the chakras when they come up with kinesiology. Like I find the best way to kind of bring them back into balance is Reiki. So I'm always tying that in. And then I've created my Moon Magic membership. So we do a call every full moon, and we'll talk about the astrology and everything that's going on. And then we'll do a group Reiki session. And like, I was always like, being where I live, like I don't do a lot of online sessions. So I was like, oh, how's this going to go online? But those sessions doing the group Reiki are just so powerful. Like, and just the feedback I get from that. And yeah, everyone loves the Reiki. Even I have a couple of people that have signed up and they're like, I don't really care much about the astrology. I just love the Reiki. So I've incorporated that as well, which is really beautiful. And I'm adding some different rituals and supportive practices with some Reiki and different things through that membership too. So I literally use it all the time.
I love that. I love that that you've found your own way of being able to kind of weed it through. And I think that's one of the things that I love about Reiki, I guess, is that there is no kind of limitation to how you can use it and where, and especially with different modalities. And yeah, it's so beautiful. I love that. Your membership sounds incredible, by the way.
So much fun. I love it.
Sounds awesome. So let's go back a few years, doing a little bit of a time jump. I met you 2018, 2019?
19, because I was pregnant with my first son.
2019. So you trekked down to Melbourne to come to come and do your level 1 Reiki with me. And I remember that it was, I don't think it was in your, like, it wasn't really in your scope that you were thinking, yep, this is something that I'm going to commit to and I'm going to go right through to. It was sort of just something that you were there to explore and a bit curious about. And so I'd love to know, because I think so many people come into level 1 in the same sort of boat, thinking, yeah, I'm just going to dip my toe in, see how it goes, and not really thinking that, yeah, I want to be a Reiki master from day one. So I'd love to know, I guess, what your intention was and what really drove you to come along to level 1 at that, back in 2019 when you were pregnant.
Growing up, I was very lucky that my parents brought me up very alternative, like never really even knew what a doctor was. So it was really normal for us to go to naturopaths, and even like my auntie did a little bit of Reiki on us when we were younger. So all that kind of stuff was very normal. And I went through a rough couple of years with some fertility stuff. And it was really then that I kind of came back to my roots, and I started doing a lot of Reiki with a beautiful woman in Albury, and kind of delved back into that stuff. And I'm like, oh, I just need to learn this. Like, and again, I always wanted to have my own business. I never really knew kind of what I was doing with that and what it was going to look like, but I always kind of just had that idea. So I came along to, level 1, and I'm like, yes, I'm going to do level 2. But then I was obviously 14 weeks pregnant doing level 1. So I was like, oh, well, I'll do level 2 later on. And then I just loved it. I just loved it. But yeah, I just didn't have a lot of time then having a baby to do another level. So then I did it. Then COVID obviously hit not long after I had my first baby. But then Loretta started offering it online. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'll just do my level 2 online. And it was literally like maybe 2 weeks after I started seeing clients. So I kind of dove in pretty quickly because I was pretty excited after having my baby, be like, I just really didn't want to go back to my other job. And I'm like, okay, I need to finally just take the leap and do it. And again, I kind of didn't even really have any intention of going further, because I was like, oh, well, I've got like level 2. I don't really need to do more. But as you know now, I've done the mastership.
I love that. So tell me a little bit more about, I guess, what the decision was then between level 2 and obviously we've got 3A before you jump into the full mastership. What was that? What was the intention between in between there?
I guess even level 3 wasn't necessarily as a business sense, it was probably more as a self development sense. And then after that, I was like, okay, I've done level 3. I don't know if I'll go into my mastership, I'll probably just leave it there. But yeah, level 2 to 3 was more. So level 1 to 2, I definitely wanted to start my business. But yeah, level 2 to 3 was more that self development, getting all the new symbols and different things that I could kind of incorporate, because I felt like I just wanted to kind of bring more for myself and even my clients. So yeah, I can't even say why I kind of went to level 3. I'm just like, I just want more. I just want more. And I'm just a constant learner. I love learning.
So good. So good. I absolutely can relate. I think it was after my level 2 that I was like, I just want more. Just give me more. Yeah, it's funny how yeah, you can start through at level 1 and be in that space of, yeah, I'll just see how this goes, and then very quickly it's becomes addictive. It's like, how could I get more of this? So you went on to do level 3, and then of course you were pregnant again with your
Yeah.
second. Yes. And then you decided to, I remember getting an email from you, I think, or maybe it was an Instagram message, and it was just like, when are you doing another mastership?
It was really funny because he's nearly 1 now, in 14 days or something like that. But yeah, I had no intention of doing my mastership because I had kind of done the kinesiology and was focusing on kind of incorporating that. And when I was pregnant with him, that was a whole journey within itself that we could talk about for hours. But I was very much tuning into like what messages he was giving me, like, and even business ideas. I had heaps of them during that time. But he kind of gave me that message that I needed to kind of go and do my mastership. And I'm like, why? And that was it. It was just like, go do your mastership. And I kept asking why. I'm like, there's no, there's no answer here. So, all right, I'll just message Loretta and see when the next intake is. And so he was born, yeah, end of October, and then we started in February. So it was kind of perfect timing where I was far enough postpartum that I could kind of commit to it as well.
Yeah, amazing. How did you feel it was in terms of, obviously, your little one being a few months old when we started? Did you find it was, did you find that was a difficult time looking back, or did you think like you did it at the kind of perfect time in terms of it was all right having a little baby? Because I know, it's sometimes hard, especially juggling too, but I'm so curious in terms of how you, um, how it was in terms of, was it too much, or did you feel like it actually helped because it was time for you once a week? Like, I'd love to hear your experience being a mum with two little ones and doing the mastership for 6 months.
I'm pretty ambitious, so I just naturally kind of make things work. Um, Look, he was only young, so like it probably was a little bit challenging, but being that it was online, I could kind of make it work. So like if he needed me, which I think he only came in on like the graduation night, like I don't think he actually interrupted any, but like my husband knew he could just bring him out if he needed me, and like I'd always feed him and get everyone organized beforehand. So I kind of was able to kind of juggle it all pretty easily. But I know if I was trying to like go in person, it would have been a nightmare. I never would have done it. So yeah, that option to do it online was just, yeah, so much better for me. And yeah, that flexibility.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. How did you go in terms of, I guess, then, throughout the mastership, in terms of, really thinking about, okay, this is setting some goals in terms of this is what I want from a personal space compared to a business space? Like, did you come in and you were thinking it was more, I don't know, 3A was definitely for personal. Did you feel the same about the mastership? Was that sort of your intention? It was more for you, or did you feel like, yeah, I want to do my mastership from a business perspective and teach? And how did you go about that?
I probably thought that teaching was probably a little bit out of my realm to start off with. And I really kind of was doing it more from a personal side of things. And my biggest thing through the mastership was to work mainly on my confidence and being able to like work with my throat chakra as well. So they were like my two big things to kind of clear that and really step into being able to kind of even just public speaking and even doing something like this. Which is funny, like now that I've built that confidence, I'm like, why wouldn't I teach? Like it makes so much sense. And I get people ask me all the time. I'm like, yes, okay, we're going to do this. So yeah, I really didn't have that intention to teach at the end. And from a business perspective, it was more from a personal development kind of side, and yeah, building that confidence and being able to express myself. And I really challenged myself with that through like being in that group setting. Like usually that would be very uncomfortable for me, and I'd be like, no, we'll just do it one to one. I thought, no, you know what? Like I'm going to do this in the group setting, and like yeah, I love all the girls that we did it with. We all have such a beautiful bond and still talk quite regularly. So it's so nice.
It really is just creating that community and connection with others who are also, often feeling very similar and going through similar sorts of things. So it is a very, very beautiful, journey to go on with others. Absolutely. I love how you talk about, your intention was really to come out of your shell, right? And to allow yourself to be seen and, feel confident and, put yourself out there. And isn't it amazing how once you get through some of your fears, like the opportunities that open up for you, like before that, you never even thought about teaching. And then once that is out of the way, you're like, whoa, why wouldn't I? Like, why? I love that so much. You wouldn't have even thought about that stuff. And yeah, it just really shows you how much our fears can really hinder us and hold us back from doing things that, you know, we would never even dream of, but yet we are really um, being pulled and pushed into a space where we're needed, right? There are people who are asking for you to teach them, who are needing you to step into that light and share your gift with them, which is just amazing. I'm really happy. It makes me so, so happy and excited when I hear that, and I hear that you are that you've pushed through and that you're feeling confident enough now to teach. And I'm very excited for you, Emily, because it's very needed. Yeah. And you have so much knowledge, so much wisdom. I know, not just from this lifetime, but I know you draw on so much so much wisdom out there that I have felt before. So I'm really, really excited for you and for that next phase in your journey, in your Reiki journey. So you've come through and you've completed the mastership now. I'd love to also know how, I guess, what's next? How do you feel like life has kind of changed since the mastership, and anything else that I guess that you've decided to step into, or other things that you've started doing since then as well?
I think even like just the confidence that I've been able to shift into since doing the mastership, and I think even it's probably only kind of been able to be seen now. It probably took a little couple of months after finishing the mastership to even integrate. I'm a very slow integrator. So the mastership was a bit of a whirlwind, but in the best way possible. But yeah, it's really kind of helped me step into and just have the confidence to do things like even the Moon Magic membership. Like it would have been something that I would have thought about doing and just kind of been like, oh, I'll do it one day kind of thing. Whereas now I have that confidence to be like, okay, let's just do it. And even like learning astrology, like that's something I've always wanted to do. And it's like, all right, let's do it now. Like rather than just kind of mulling over things and always wishing that I'd done things. And even yeah, stepping into teaching next year will be huge. Like I'm really looking forward to that. I've got quite a number of people that want to learn, so I'll have to book some dates in soon. But yeah, just the confidence stepping into things rather than just mulling over things and just wishing that I'd always done it, I think is huge. And like even the Moon Magic, I started that during, it must have been about June or July. So like the even shifting into that's been huge. I've started doing a couple of new moon circles in person, which again, that would have been something that I would have been terrified to do and never done. Like, oh, that would have been cool to do. Whereas now I'm like, okay, let's do it. It's going to be fun. So even public speaking in front of, I think I had 9 women at the first one that I did. So I wasn't meant to have that many, but that's another story. But yeah, being able to speak in front of them like was huge because I'd kind of done that work through the mastership. So yeah, it's really exciting that, yeah, it's just having that trust, I think, that everything's going to work out. Like even an example, like I had about 3 to 4 weeks of like barely any work, and it was just that time. Like a lot of people were sick over winter, and it was very quiet. And it was even my mum said to me, she's like, normally you'd be freaking out about this stuff, whereas like now you're kind of just being proactive and really just building this other stuff in the background and just trusting that it's going to work out. She really noticed that difference, that I wasn't freaking out and having a mental breakdown over it. So just that trust in everything is so much better after doing the mastership as well.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that is very common amongst most people. I know even in my personal mastership that always was coming up. It really does force you to drop into a space of surrender, doesn't it? To let go and to trust more. And yeah, it really, really does. Which is uncomfortable at times, but yeah, how beautiful now you can reap the rewards. Like you can actually sit there and look back and go, wow, like it's, yeah, I can see the benefits and how much it's having an impact on my day-to-day life as well. And I can imagine that has an impact on those that are around you as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so good. It's beautiful. And did you enjoy, I know that we did, I'm just thinking a little bit about the structure of the group mastership, maybe just talk a little bit about that. So obviously we had weekly sessions, and there was that combination of also having additional trainings and things like that. And also the WhatsApp group. So it was so nice to connect with, and to you. I know that you continue to connect in that group as well, which is so lovely. How did you go with the structure? I know that it's fast and there's a lot of it's only in 6 months, which there's so much is, you're growing through so much. But yeah, let me know how you, and I guess share a little bit about how that was for you and how that worked.
So I was a little bit scared to do it in a group, but I'm like, okay, put yourself out of your comfort zone, it'll be fine. And obviously everyone's so lovely and we are just such a beautiful group. But I really love that, even just doing it online. And I did think like, oh, this is going to take forever, like 6 months, but it flew. Like, and I really loved being able to come together every week. And I don't think, yeah, because we did the extra additional trainings in between on our weeks off. So like, I think I missed one call due to some family stuff, but I loved it, just being able to have that time for myself every week, and even all the extra stuff that we did, like the psychic development, like loved that. Do that every time. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. That was so much fun. Like we just were laughing the whole time. It was great. But yeah, all the additional stuff that we did, and even like the light language, like with Leanne, like that was so beautiful. Like all those extra things that we did were just, yeah, I loved all the additional stuff that we did.
Yeah. Oh, so good. That's awesome. I know that just on your psychic development, and I guess, with some of your gifts coming out, and I know that you weren't alone. There were a few of you in the group who really perhaps had delved into some things before you started. And then I noticed this incredible just I guess a deepening of a lot of those gifts and really coming out into fruition. And um I think, well, hopefully you agree with me, but from what I saw, it was because so many of you were going through that together. There was just this beautiful element of support around you all. And it was like, this is weird, but like this might sound weird, or this happened or that happened. And, being able, I think, to come together and share those experiences. And, not always you can share those with just everyday people that are in your life. So I think, definitely as your mentor, as your guide, I think it was just beautiful to be able to watch all of you really support one another through that, as well as your gifts kept developing and coming to light. And hopefully that also helped with the confidence as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really beautiful, especially even the light language one in particular, because it was like everybody just had a gift come through, but they were all different. Like some of us were, yeah, channeling, speaking, and some more with our hands. But yeah, that was really beautiful that we could actually kind of talk to each other about it. And it's like, no, we're not going crazy. Everyone's had these things going through. And even when one person would have a particular gift come through on one week and then someone would have a different one, there was no like jealousy. Everyone was just so supportive. Whereas like I think sometimes like in those group things you can be a bit worried that it'll be like, oh, how's this kind of go down? But everyone was really supportive, which was really beautiful. And even like I can't even remember what week it was, but I had some mediumship gifts starting to come through, and like everyone was just so happy for me. Like it wasn't, yeah, it was just so supportive and lovely. Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Oh, so good. So, so nice. I'm getting all these flashbacks now and memories popping. It was, yeah, very, very special 6 months, really beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Emily. Is there anything else that you would like to share about your Reiki journey, or even working with me, or is it, yeah, anything else you'd like to add before we wrap up?
I think if you're thinking about doing the mastership or even just any level of Reiki, just do it, dive in. Like, I really just don't see how you could ever regret it. And even with the group mastership, like, dive in, because you just end up with the most beautiful, supportive people. And as we said, like, we're still talking in our WhatsApp, and yeah, just learn Reiki, because the opportunities that come with it are just incredible. And just the person that you become after it is just, yeah, who you're meant to be. It's so beautiful.
That's so amazing. I love
And you're
that.
such a beautiful teacher as well. It's, yeah, so beautiful.
Thanks. Yeah, that is amazing that yeah, you become who you're meant to be, and that I absolutely can see that in each and every one of you. And it's yeah, it's real honor to sit on the other side and watch you all through that. It's really beautiful. Thank you so much for your time. So you work online as well as in person
Yeah,
in Wangaratta.
yeah,
And I know you sort of do events sometimes in surrounding areas too, I've noticed. So yeah, definitely follow what do you want to share your Instagram? I'm not sure if you're on Facebook as well, but yeah, share your Instagram. And yeah, get in touch with Emily for readings, Reiki, and she'll be teaching Reiki in from February next year as well. And of course, kinesiology. And yeah, do you want to share a little bit about where they can find you?
yeah. So my Instagram's at Emily M McQueen. And through that, I actually have a private Facebook group that you can join. So there's a link in my bio on Instagram that you can find. And I do, my website's www.emilymcqueen.com.au. So you can find everything on there as well. So yeah, in person, online. I do a little bit in Albury, which is just up the road. But yeah, everything's all on there.
Amazing. Emily, thank you so much again. It was so lovely to speak with you and connect with you again.
Thank you.